Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 4. Lesson 4 currently deals with formatting data. That's part 2 of formatting data. Still using the same data that we used in lesson 3. That's the part 1. Right, now when it comes to text wrapping, you can see that when we entered with these data, for example, look at the inventory management system. You can see that the inventory management system is covering or occupying from cell F1, that's from cell F1 here, to cell J1. However, you can see that that data is entered in only cell F1. So you can see over here F1 and inventory management system. Now, what it means is that the data entered, right, overlap that cell. So for example, if we are to enter a new, let's say a new data in J1, right, you realize that the other parts of the inventory management system not captured in cell F1 will be hidden. So for example, let me enter something like records over here. Right, so you realize that now, although the inventory management system is here, right, we can't see it because it overlaps that cell. Right, so what we can do is we can text wrap. Now when you text wrap, it means that so in basic terms we are making it visible in just one cell, right? Or if you want to use the other cell just as it overlaps the two, then that one, let me delete the records I entered here. So as you can see, right, we can highlight these cells and put them into one, where we can merge these cells into one cell. Okay, but first let's look at the text wrap. Now with the text wrap, right, we select the cell where the data is entered and we come up here. Right, when you come up here, that's under alignment. Under alignments, you see this sign over here. So when I move over it, you can see wrap text, right? So we wrap extra long text into multiple lines so you can see all of it, right? And all of it will be displayed in just one cell, in cell F1. So when I hit on it, right, you can see. So you can see everything displayed in that cell, making every part of that data visible, right? However, you can see that although it's being visible, but we can't see it very well, right? So what we can do is, most of the time we want to maintain that cell, we just have to adjust that cell, right? You have to expand it. However, in doing so, you realize that the date column also becoming very big, which we don't even need it. So in this instance, you can see, so in this instance, the best thing we can do is to use the merge and center. So you take note of that one also. So here, let's say we wanted to cover from column B1 to, from cell B1 to cell K1, right? So what we do, we will select those cells, right? Then we come up here, right? You can see it over here. So when you click on merge and center, what it does is that all those cells will be merged into one, right? And the data entered in it will be aligned perfectly in the center, right? So when I hit on it, so you can see that all those cells are perfectly merged together, right? Merged together, and we can see our data entered there perfectly aligned in the middle, right? Now with the text wrap, okay, one interesting thing about the text wrap is that we can enter long sentences just even in just one cell, right? Just like we can write, let's say we can write a letter or let's say a passage in Microsoft Word, right? When it comes to Excel, we can do same, right? And we can just write everything in just one cell with the help of the text wrap. So you take note of that one also, with the help of the text wrap, right? Now when it comes to the number formatting also. Now when it comes to numbers, you know we have various forms of numbers, right? So when you come here, you can see these are just normal numbers, right? So let me say real numbers, okay, real numbers over here. And when it comes to the discount, you can see that these are also numbers. However, these ones are in percentages, right? So when it comes to number formatting, we can change these number types. So for example, instead of 50, right? We can give decimals, we can add decimals to it. For example, with those who work with, let's say, accounting data, accounting data mostly we add we show the pesos, right? So let's say we have some amount with pesos, then we can also add how do you call it, decimal points to it, mostly with accounting 2 decimal points. And with that one also we can go ahead and add currency, the currency signs to them. So for example, I want to add decimal point because when talking prices, prices are not always fixed like this. Okay, there are prices that, let's say, we go and buy, let's say, a can malt for maybe 10 cedis, 50 pesos, right? In this instance, if we are not showing the decimal points, Excel automatically runs it up. So instead of 10 cedis, 50 pesos, Excel will show it as 11 cedis. So in dealing with accounting data, it's very important to also take note of the decimals, right? And with these ones, in doing so, we can do so by coming. So let's go back to our ribbon and locate number, right? So this is where we can do all formatting with regards to numbers, right? So we can change, for example, let's say we want to add decimals to it and other stuff. So with the decimals also, we can come up here. So you can increase the decimals with this, or we can reduce the decimal with this. Alright, so in this instance, let's say we want to increase the decimal. So we just hit on this one, so maybe 2 is okay. Alright, so as you can see, so you can see it being done over here. Alright, then let's say with the 40, with the 712 also, we can add 2 values to it, 2 decimal places to it. Okay, now with this discount, we can see that the discounts are in percentages, right? You can see that they are in percentages. So with these percentages also, we can, let's say we don't want them to be in percentages, right? We don't want them to be in percentage. We want to change everything to, let's say, normal decimals or normal numbers with decimal places, right? So what we do is we select the whole column. Alright, so you can select the whole column, and you can come up here and change it from percentages to numbers. So you can see it over here. Alright, so let's change it to numbers, and you can see that they've been changed perfectly to numbers. Alright, now if you want to change them back to percentages, you can just come up here, hit and select percentages, or come out, you can see the percentage sign over here, right? And we hit on it. Or better still, we have the keyboard shortcut Control plus Shift and the percentage sign. So that will be Control Shift and 5. Right, so Control Shift 5 will give you, so Control Shift 5. Control Shift 5. Back to my percentages, right? And in percentages also, most of the times, if you are leaving it without a decimal point, the probability that most of them are rounded up is very high, right? So let me just increase the decimal places. So as you can see, yes, so you can see here. So let me, I think here's 2. Now in these 2, you can see that without the decimal, you can see we have 11% and 17%, right? So you can see that automatically Excel rounded up these figures, right? Since we are not dealing with the decimals. However, these 0.67 and 0.43 are not significant when it comes to discounting, right? Rounding them up means a lot, because when it comes to discount, rounding that means a customer, or let's say the client, is getting a higher percentage, which shouldn't be the case, right? And that's how we can also go about with formatting numbers. Alright, so with the numbers also, let's give, let's say, percentages to them. Alright, so I hope you still remember how to move within our data set, move easily within our data set, right? So for example, currently we are in the last part of the last entry, right? If you want to locate the first entry, instead of scrolling to the first, which is going to take minutes, we just hold Control arrow key up, right, to get to the first cell in our data, then arrow key left, so the last cell in our data to the right, control arrow key down, the last record. Okay, so you take note of that one also. Alright, so let's say we want to assign, let's say, a currency to the prices. Okay, so you select the prices, we come up here and we select currency, right? Currency, and I think automatically we get a euro sign. However, if we want to change this currency, we come up here, go to more number formats. We go to more number format, and here we can do a lot of stuff over here, right? So we can change the number formatting over here, have alignment, you can change the font, the border, fill, and other stuff, the protection also. So for example, I want to change the symbol from euro to, let's say, Ghana cedis here, or the Ghana cedis with the C or the S. So I prefer the S, alright, with 2 decimal places. So if I want more decimal places, I can increase this, and I hit OK. Alright, so you can see all these I've changed to Ghana cedis, right? So with this one, the reason why you are seeing the hashes over here, if that is because the numbers in the content, right, the width is higher or is greater than the cell width, so we can adjust them by coming up here. So we put our arrow between the column I and J, right? It changes to this, so you can see it changes here. Then we can double click and drag, right? Can double click and drag. Now as we go on, okay, I'll be showing you how we can set a code to auto adjust all these weights. So as and when we enter a value which is longer than the weight, then automatically the cell adjusts itself for the data in it to fit perfectly. All right, so we take note of that and don't miss out when we get there. Okay, now the next and the last part of this video, we're looking at how to freeze panes, right? So how to freeze let's say a certain column or a certain row. Now with this also, for example, you see that anytime we scroll within this data, okay, we scroll within data, the headings scroll with it, so they see the headings are written. So if we locate, let's say we locate this, so let's say we locate this JU code. So we have I2922. So let me highlight it. Let's give it a color so that we know where we are working from. So with this one, we locate this one. However, when I get here, right, I've forgotten the headers for these, right? So I have to just scroll back again. Look, okay, this 50 cents is the actual price or is the last price, right? And sometimes because of this issue, it's very important to freeze the paint, right? So that anytime we highlight, so anytime we scroll, the headers will remain fixed, right? So in this one, let's say I want to freeze paint. So what I'll do is sorry, I come to view, right? So in the menu bar you see view over here. In the menu bar you see view, right? And under view you locate window, which is over here, and we can see freeze pane. All right, so we select we make a selection of where we want to freeze, and that's where we use the first one. Now if our top row is what we want to freeze, then we just select this one. And if it's our first column, we select this one to freeze the first column. So let's make an example. So I select this first two, I come to, let me see, right, okay. Now when I select these two, okay, you can see that I now can freeze, I think I can freeze the top, so that as I move ahead, right, the top remains fixed, and I can go ahead and locate anyone, and immediately I locate those, the I entry that I'm looking for, automatically I know, okay, 111 is the actual price and this is the last price. Unlike the first instances where immediately we scroll, we can't see the headers anymore. Okay, all right, okay, hold on. So this is what I'm trying to do. So you can see that here I have the top parts. I think the first two column, or the first two rows, row 1 and row 2, is freeze, so it's fixed, right? And we can scroll the other ones, and when I locate row 139, my row 1 and 2 is still showing. So that's how to freeze a row, right? In freezing columns, do the same thing. You select, then you come to freeze pane. So let me unfreeze the row that I did. So here also, maybe I want to freeze the JE codes, so I come here, I select freeze pane. Alright, and as you can see, I can scroll. So yeah, the reason why freezing pane is very important is, you can see that here with the row, we can see how important it is. With the column, we don't see it very much because the record, right, the rows in the records are not that much. However, in situations where they were very lengthy, right, then that's how we see the importance of this. Also, this is one part of being able to do this. Another way we can also do that, okay, we can also use conditional formatting, where as and when we select, let's say we select a cell, right, the column of that cell and the row will also be highlighted, maybe with a specific color or something. So as we go ahead, we will also look at those ones. Right now, thank you very much for watching, and this will be the end of lesson 4. Right, stay tuned for lesson 5, and we entreat you to always subscribe, be part of this journey. All right, bye.